podcast series by regionalfortrainees.com. Tune into learning. This is an introductory podcast into learning more about anesthesia logbooks, and I'm Dr. Herman. To disclose, I've got no financial interest in trying to make this podcast. I'm not working for any software companies, although I've designed some templates for regional anesthesia logbooks, which are primarily Android-based. I would soon be working upon an iPhone-based solution, but I intend to keep all of my work free and available on this website, hopefully. What we're trying to do with this podcast is tell you more about what are the logbooks solutions on the market today, and how to go about choosing an ideal or the most appropriate logbook for yourself and how it could benefit you. So Webster defines logbook as a written record of activities, events, or travel. For us anesthesiologists, it probably means something like a written or electronic record of anesthetized patients, often providing a semi-detailed account of the management that was undertaken. Obviously, the benefits of a logbook depend upon whether you're a trainee or whether you're a consultant. For a trainee, it could give you the number of cases you've done in a year, distribution between different specialties, and different procedures you might have done. And for some of the exams you're coming out, some of the European exams, as you will see on this website, the coming recommendations enlist minimum number of procedures that should have been done by a trainee to allow them to sit for an exam, and that might be important. For a consultant, it might be a time to evaluate their practice. They can reflect upon what they've done, and they can back up their practices in different meetings and so on. And more importantly, they can track the private practice cases that they might be doing. But not everything about logbooks can be easy. They're definitely difficult to maintain. They can be a costly exercise. A special kind of a skill set is needed to get the maximum out of your logbooks. I think the most important feature of an important logbook is the ability of the logbook to be filled up at the point of care. That is, when you're doing your case, you should be able to log it at that point of time. And there are a number of reasons for it, because it's the best time to do it. Number two, you're not carrying back any patient confidentiality data back to your home and entering the data there. Number three, you might end up forgetting what you've done, and so what you enter may not be the best thing to do. Among the other disadvantages, like the lack of cross-platform compatibility, customization problems, editing problems, issues with generating report, which is in effect the endpoint of your logbook. If you don't have a decent reports, what's the point in maintaining the logbook in the first place? And then issues with data loss and so on. But first we need to understand, why do we need a logbook? For a trainee, it might be a mandatory guideline. If you're near about achieving a CCT, then it is a requirement for that. For a consultant, it might be important for their annual appraisals. With GMC's revalidation plans, it might become mandatory. However, we must try and remember that logbook is not the only way by which your training can be evaluated. This was realized, and therefore a concept of portfolio was introduced, where we try and log the directly observed procedural skills, the clinical evaluation exercises, and the case-based discussions. Not only that, your online CMEs or on-site CMEs are also part of your portfolio that you try and maintain. I do not see any particular software available which tries to cater to your portfolio as a whole. Most of these softwares available just cater to your logbook needs, which are just one part of things. Obviously, with the Royal College Anaesthesia e-portfolio things unfolding, I don't know how the market will pan out, or at least do the trainees in the UK need it. What are the different ways to maintain a logbook? And classically, there's been the written method. I certainly used to log my cases written up, but given that some time ago, And obviously there are the more modern methods of electronic logbooks. Written is a tad tedious, and electronic methods are the one which are in vogue. And there are certain methods, and I classify the electronic methods available into 3 different platforms. One is a desktop-based solution, which is using either Windows or Mac. You take a software, install it on your system, and you use it from there. The second could be online portal of entry. These are certain websites which basically act like servers. You log on, you need an internet connection, you log in your cases, and you maintain the database over there, and you print out reports from there. And third is the portable, which is point of care solutions, which I find certainly the most attractive of all the solutions, available at the point where you're doing things on your mobile device. And I've certainly transformed my practice into coming back home, writing and locking cases, to now doing it on my iPod, and I find it very easy to do. So talking about each solution one by one, the Windows or Mac-based software basically involves steps of downloading the software, installing it, registering yourself, entering your GMC number, starting to enter data, and then you can analyze the data as you do it, and then you can generate reports. The premier example of this type of software is the Royal College of Anaesthesiologists Logbook software available on the shown website. It is free. It's available for Windows or for Mac. It is probably the best software available. It definitely gives the best report generation. It's available on pen drive as well, so you can use it in Trust, which allow usage of unencrypted pen drives. You can import and export files, and you can do a number of other things with it. The biggest problem for me is that it is not portable, so you can't take it on to the system unless your Trust allows installing certain, these software onto Trust computers, which not all the Trust allow. It cannot be used directly onto your iPod or iPhone, and I mean to say directly. There are other ways you can do it indirectly, but it doesn't directly use this software. I couldn't see an Android support for this software. Pen drives again may be disallowed by certain Trust, and once you enter data into this, it can be a bit tricky editing the data. Online websites, on the other hand, are slightly simpler. They allow you to register an account, start entering data, and start generating reports. However, not everything is simple in this field, in this platform either. One of such platforms available is the online Anaesthesia Logbook, on the link which has been shown. The obvious advantage is that data entry is free, but one of my colleagues told me once you start downloading reports from this website, they start charging you on a monthly basis, and that can be a recurrent expense. The good thing is it is available for all the common platforms, whether it is desktop-based solutions or mobile devices. It's a good software which is similar to Royal College of Anaesthesiologists Logbook. It gives decent report generation. You can import and export files. The best feature, I suppose, of this software is dedicated specialty logbooks. You can maintain general anesthesia cases under general anesthesia tab, obstetrics under the obstetric tab, dedicated regional anesthesia tab, pain, and ITU. And these are a couple of other features that I like about it. I've already mentioned the recurrent expense that can be there in investing with such a solution. It may not be portable entirely because it needs internet connection. So suppose what if I'm working on an iPod, I can't enter my cases at the hospital because obviously my iPod does not have an internet connection. On the other hand, if I'm using an iPhone and I don't have a good broadband service or a good connection in my hospital, then that rules out entering data as well. No pen drive installation available with this because it is online. I personally found the usage of the website slightly on the slower side.